Hey, this thing is Console Crapshoot, where we spin a wheel to play a random video game on original hardware. By the way, if you like these videos, please go to my profile and click the bell icon on the top right so that every time I make a new episode, it can be beamed directly into your skull. Alright, we got the Nintendo 64. Not bad, just had that recently. 300 games left on that wheel. We had really crazy luck last time getting Mario 64. I don't know if we'll get that lucky again, but let's see what we got here. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Actually, I do think we got pretty lucky here in a completely different way. Unfortunately for me, if I'm going to talk about this game, if I'm going to do it any justice, I'm going to have to show you a lot of things in it, and that will probably lead to TikTok's algorithm absolutely killing my views on this video, but that's okay. I'll explain why in just a second, but yeah, I'd rather fully get into this game than kind of dance around it and not show you what this game is like. Uncensored crapshoot after dark, if you will. So, Conker's Bad Fur Day is an interesting game to say the least. In a nutshell, it's a cute platformer game. Guy looks like a cute Disney squirrel, but this game is dirty.
Doesn't fit in the thing anyway. You seen how fat she is? Bitch.
It's dirty, it's offensive. It would probably never get made now. Definitely some of the jokes in here would never be in a game now. But it is pretty funny. It's a cool concept. Right off the bat, when you start the game up, they show you that they mean business. I'm amazed that Nintendo allowed this mascot to chainsaw their logo. If you know anything about Nintendo, that's crazy, and I would have loved to have seen that meeting with Nintendo to talk them into doing that, because that must have taken some doing. Conker's Bad Fur Day was developed by Rare, back at the height of Rare, when their name really meant something. When this one started, it was supposed to be like a Mario 64 type game. First it was called Conker's Quest, and then it was called 12 Tales Conker 64. And they actually showed it at E3 in 1998. At that time, it was still a cutesy platformer. And a lot of the reaction to it was that it was too similar to Mario 64 and Rare's other game, Banjo-Kazooie. The look of it was really similar, and people weren't really interested in it. It had kind of a tumultuous development. It had been canceled actually at one point, and one of the artists that was working on the game, Chris Seaver, repitched the game to his bosses basically as an adult humor game. And the rest is history. I'm surprised this game got released. Nintendo's branding was always more for kids, and I'd say even more so back then. Later in the GameCube days, they started trying to break free of that a little bit. But this game is not shy to go there at all. I mean, your cute squirrel starts off drunk and throwing up and then hungover. The gameplay consists pretty much of you solving puzzles and doing errands for people. And by people, I mean mostly other animals and filthy-mouthed inanimate objects.
I say, little fella, you better get this fat-ass bitch off of my back pronto.
These guys want me to feed cheese to this gassy mouse until it explodes in a bloody mess. A paint can and brush peer pressure a pitchfork into fighting me. And then when he fails at that, it gets really dark. Like, this is an example of something that would never be in a game today.
So, what are you gonna do now? Kill yourself? Because that's what I recommend.
Yeah, you should kill yourself. And Matt, we got a rope right here. And we got a rope.
Yeah, we got a rope. There you go.
What kind of friends are you?
But I have to say, it is entertaining. Some of the humor doesn't hold up. A lot of it does. A lot of it is based on movie references, but there's a lot of content. It's a long game. They fit a ton of stuff on this cartridge, and despite the early problems with developing the game, you can tell when it transitioned into an adult game and they started rolling, you could tell they had fun making this.
How about some scat, you little twat?
It's completely bonkers. And, you know, the graphics, nowadays this does look really bad. But at the time, this was pushing the N64 to its limits. This is later in the life of the system, and believe it or not, games did not look this good. I can only show so much. I am interested in seeing what happens with this video, if it'll get blocked or flagged or anything. I hope not, because this is a game that people should know about. This is an interesting one. So do me a favor and share this one if you don't mind. In fact, I do recommend going back and playing it, but not on the N64. This game was actually re-released as Conker Live and Reloaded, I believe. And that was on the original Xbox, and that is available to play backwards compatibility now. You can download it, you can play it on the Xbox One, you can play it on the new Xbox Series consoles. I'm kind of tempted to play that one too. So yeah, if you're going to play it, maybe play that version. It's going to look a lot better, and it's easy to access now.
You got down there, kick the shit out of him.
So what would we rate Conker's Bad Fur Day for the Nintendo 64? I would say this game is beautifully flawed. It's great, it's an interesting piece of history, it's funny. Not all of of it lands nowadays. I wouldn't recommend playing it if you think you might be offended by some of the content, but I guess the term "it was a different time" applies here. Gonna give this one a solid 4 out of 5. This was an awesome pick just for the sheer unique nature of this game. There's not a lot of games like this. It's truly an interesting footnote in video game history. Hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I like playing it. You really never know what this wheel is gonna give you every week. I'm more excited for next time than ever. Hope you'll join me. See you then.